But
did it.
no such a thing.
Too much credit.
I mean, it's a moped though, so I don't know how much horsepower he had to do that.
I mean, the bike
So
itself made it across the way.
yeah, but mopeds aren't really made to lean or get close to the ground. So
Mm.
that's like the issue.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Herbal Synergy's The Shop. I'm your host, Sinji. With me, my co-host, as always, Irby.
What up?
About to put some fanfare in that intro. Woo! What's up, Irby?
Same old, same old. Make it do what it does. Getting into the madness of March here.
March Madness. We're already halfway through March.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was more so referring to the NCAA tourney.
Mm.
Yeah, you're not a big basketball fan, so you wouldn't know.
I'm actually more of a basketball fan. As of late, I just games too long.
Nah, you just ain't a fan.
Nah, there's nothing to watch on like for free. I guess like, I don't want to pay. Like I don't have cable, and I damn sure don't want to pay for an app just to watch basketball. And like honestly, most of the time we're playing games, and I'm trying to squeeze anime in between us playing games. So like, I know damn sure I don't got time to put a basketball game on because I'm trying to keep up with freaking anime I'm watching.
Hmm.
But hey, Irby, got a flavor this week?
I do.
Oh, let's hear it. Let me open my notes. My notes are missing.
Yeah, but yeah. So my flavor this week was when old girl from Eden of the East,
Do we have the same flavors?
when she grew wings
Yo, what the fuck
and
was
flew out.
that?
What? What is this? Like,
So
this
when did
is.
this suddenly become a Yo, first of all, she floated that man towards her, and then like, when did this turn into a supernatural show?
That's why I was like, huh? What?
It just
I was
mind
like,
fucked me. That episode was good.
yeah. I was like, man. But but yeah. Then they later said that yeah. They later explained what she did. So I was like, huh.
Did they?
That's how they did. I'll tell you later. We can get to that when we discuss Eden.
Was it like after the credits?
No, it was like during it.
During the credits?
No, like during the scene.
What?
Yeah. But
Okay.
anyhow,
All
so
right.
we both
Okay.
had the same flavor.
Yeah, that was my flavor. I was so freaking confused. I was just like, what? This show just took a turn. And then it just mind fucked me how, like, that dude was not Osakai, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
That's why I kind of was like, oh, he took he stole his bag. So I was like, huh. Cause I'd said that earlier or previously. I was like, oh, it could be him or he could have just taken the bag. So I was like, huh.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah. So
But then where is he?
that's the other question. I'm like, is he just laid up somewhere drunk, hungover for like 2 days?
Shoot,
So
maybe.
yeah.
But
So
that was
just
dope.
yeah. Yeah. So you just want to let's just talk about that one now, and we do the other ones later. So Eden of the East, season 1, episode 7, Flight of the Black Swan. So I guess they're talking about in the room, and they're talking about the origins of the Johnny Hunter, and allegedly she hunts virgins to the hotel room, and if they can't perform, they get their Johnny's cut.
That's fucked
And
up.
today, yeah,
Virgins
and
usually can't perform.
speak for yourself. But
How
yeah,
how long did you last your first time? Or be like 2 seconds?
nah, full 10 minutes, baby.
I think I went a strong 5.
Shoot. But nah, continuing. Yeah, to date she has 20K Johnnies. So, and apparently Osakai was on a he's been frequenting a singles forum, and Takazawa's like, "Oh, who's Osakai?" And the room kind of gets quiet, and the man with the glasses proceeds to tell him how Osakai got drunk, and he went on the singles forum, and he was a single forum, and he took him out to the date where he's going to ask Saki to,
Hmm.
and yeah, I was like, "Ooh." That's why the room was quiet because they knew it's kind of like one of the hushed secrets. And so he was like, "Yeah, I should have just taken him home and this, that, and the other." I'm like, "Huh? Well, that sucks that he had to find out that way, and she didn't want to tell old boy anyway, so she was trying to hide it." I'm like, "Huh? You low down dirty dogs, you." So yeah, so yeah, had to get some more stuff. They get some more information on where he is, and they're close to where he's being held. And he's like, "Yeah, his accomplice is Juiz." And Takazawa's like, "What?" He's like, "I'll be back." And so he leaves, and Takazawa ends up finding him, and he's in room 1109. And I guess her name, the lady's name was like yeah, like Hanako Roppongi or Diana something, Shiratori. So um, he asked Jules to stop her, or Juiz to stop her, and let's see, yeah. So she gets a cop to stop her, and she's like, "Oh." I thought this was the point she's making too was the fact that she's like, "Oh, you're using state funds for personal use or something now." It's like, "Oh, breaking the rules or something," but like she didn't really
I
care.
I pray for your continued service.
Which I'm not sure if that should violate the rules because he's using funds to delay someone's death to try to help them. But maybe Jalise knew that it was a person not worth saving,
Mm-hmm.
so that maybe that's why it turned into being funds for whatever reason. So yeah, so then he's riding through the place, and the cop he stops her, and she's like, "Oh, so number nine wants to meet me or whatever," and she just like takes off, and then she proceeds to locate him and causes an accident on the freeway. I was like, "Oh man, do you just make that car wheel fall off?"
I thought, first of all, that was fucked up.
It was.
Second of all, I thought he slid under the truck at first.
I did too. I
So
was like,
my
"Oh,
man's
look
gonna
at my
slide
man
under the truck
go!"
and keep going. Yeah, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
he
but
did it.
there was such a thing.
Too much credit.
I mean, it's a moped though, so I don't know how much horsepower he had to do that.
I mean, the bike
So
itself made it across the way.
yeah, but mopeds aren't really made to lean or get close to the ground. So
Mm,
that's like the issue. Like if he was on a motorcycle and he's doing like 80, he probably could have went through there on a turn pretty sharp, but he didn't.
hmm.
Yeah, so he's in the accident. And then my man Takizawa buys the building and makes everyone get out. And then she ends up buying it back, the building. He's like, "You paid this much for the building? It's not even worth that."
And then
So
increase in price somehow.
yeah. So then they end up meeting in the room, and he's trying to talk to her, and he's trying to save the life of the guy. And she's like, "Oh, well, you can have him, but I still want to take his Johnny." And he's like, "Oh, I want to save you too." And he's like, "Oh, were you hurt by it, man?" And she's like, "How could you possibly think about that or something?" And rather, she was like, she was kind of taken aback, but I think she kind of knew that he knew a man had hurt her before. That's why she was hurting men like this.
Man, he was kind of taking advantage of her. That wasn't a real nice guy move. Then again, she was about to kill a guy, but I was like, damn, you really trying to take advantage of her past.
I don't know if it's taking advantage of her past per se.
I said,
I
baby,
think
I
he,
love you. I love you, right?
I think that's more so he wanted to show that she was capable of being loved.
Mm-hmm.
Like one guy just doesn't make up for every person type deal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just like how you found love.
Carry on my wayward son.
That was a deep three. But yeah, so they're talking, and it kind of looks like he's going in for a kiss.
Deep three, motherfucker. You playing 2K?
No, I'm watching basketball on the side.
Oh, okay, okay.
March Madness, baby.
Who playing?
Or Roberts and Duke right now.
Gotcha. Okay, all right.
Yeah, that man pulled up like logo lows.
Yo, logo lows. I haven't shot
Yeah,
for the logo in a while.
but so he's talking to her. It kind of like he's going in for a kiss and putting the moves on her, and the whole time his phone has been talking to Saki in his pocket, so she like knows everything. She's like, "Oh, salad cells, this, that, and the other." So she's pretty much up to date on the phone and what it is. And so he's bleeding pretty bad, and he kind of just like falls into her chest, and I'm like, "Oh man,
She was ready to give him all of her
yeah,
in front of that guy on the floor.
yeah." So
And
yeah,
Takasawa probably would have laid pipe, man.
I don't know. He's bleeding too heavily. He might have died. He might have had enough blood to get a pipe, but still. So so she's like, yeah, um, I like to give it a try, being loved or whatever, or to get love. And this is the part where like he passes out and she like takes care of him and Saki finally gets to the room. I'm like, oh man, she's finna walk on something she ain't finna want to see.
She
And
took it like a
so
champ, though.
she did. She said, "What's going on here? What did he do to Takizawa? This, that, and the other." And so they're talking. And oh, girl, she spreads wings. She pulls old boy to her with almighty pull, spreads the wings, starts flying out. I'm like, man,
Destroys the entire freaking wall.
yeah. And come to find out, the guy that she took wasn't her friend, but a serial rapist. So I was like, huh, man. Well, that's I don't. Well, maybe I might condone it or might not condone it, but I'm like, man, that puts a whole new light on things because it's not your friend. So why do you care?
I mean, she already said that she's carrying out her own version of justice.
She did,
She knows
but
what she's doing isn't right.
yeah, but they kind of set it up to make it look like she was doing. She just picking up random dudes
Mm-hmm.
and was like with the talent agency. I was like, oh, she's just getting them from here. She's killing them.
And she made it seem like she's doing a good thing by like replacing the piece of shit she's killing with a gentleman from overseas.
Yeah,
I was like,
I mean,
you're still killing someone just because you replace him.
yeah. So I don't know. I'm just like, man, that's kind of crazy there. But hey,
What Arby? What other anime were we watching that like started off normal and suddenly became oh crap? Things just got different.
I have no idea.
I feel like we were watching something that seemed normal and then suddenly powers.
I have no idea.
All right, but explain the
Maybe
wings. I'm still confused.
so. There was a receipt for like a magic illusion shop that she had did, and so all of that was like illusion. So I was like, I don't understand. How did they get powers? But she doesn't have powers. It was she paid. I think she paid to have the windows blown out and paid to have stuff on wires, and she floated up to the top of the roof.
she just sailed away on like a helicopter or something.
Yeah, like it was all like illusion. Like that little receipt, there was a receipt that was floated down. And I was like, oh, there's like receipt to magic shop and they had like the totals on there. I was like, oh, okay. That makes a lot more sense because like no one had powers. We're like almost done with the season.
I know,
And
bro.
you just
It would
now
have
get
like
powers.
it would have blown the whole freaking rest of the season open. I was like, "What is going? Yeah, it's about to get crazy." You
Yeah.
just calmed it down for me.
Yeah.
I was
So
like, "What the hell just happened, bro? When did we become mutants? Someone called the X Men."
yeah, so that's why I was like, up, I'll just explain it to you later because I was gonna get into that.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, but he was also part of the Missile Monday attack, whatever it was. But yeah,
Apparently,
so yeah, he has no idea. But yeah, I was like, oh man. I was like, she grew wings. I was like, what the hell is going on here?
threw me for a loop, bro. Can we talk about the sacred blacksmith?
Yeah, dog, spark it up.
Can we talk about how this episode had like very redeeming qualities and just farted at the end?
The ending was god awful.
Oh my god, what else had a terrible shitty ending? Was it that pirate princess one?
I don't think
Fena?
so. I think Finna was okay.
Something
Or
had a shitty ending that we watched on this podcast, and it was just like, yo, the show was good. That ending was horrible. But I forget which anime it was. I gotta rewind the tapes.
yeah, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah. But, alright, so the Sacred Blacksmith, Luke and Lisa are having a heart to heart, and how Lisa doesn't feel like Luke accepts her because of her name, and Luke feels like he messed up because he wants Lisa to be her own person, and she's just living in Lisa's shadow. They get over that. They have a heartwarming moment, and then the city. They finally realize the city is under attack. So Cicely goes helps the captain. Luke goes towards homeboy. There's just people dying in between. Um, Luke's fighting Siegfried. Cicely is like trying to hold her own, but showing none of the capabilities she showed when she was fighting those three girls with.
Women, yeah,
Yeah, I was, bro. I hate.
the
I
regression.
yeah, it was just like, what was the point of learning all that? You did nothing. You did absolutely nothing with it. And when it came time to the final showdown, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, Lisa loses Luke. Luke is fighting Siegfried. Lisa goes to find Cicely instead of going to find Luke, even though she knew they found him right away. So why you needed Lisa to go find Luke? I don't even know. But the captain gives Cicely permission to go find Luke, and they run into the girl that was protecting Siegfried. Well, it was a short battle that just kind of got it was solved with a very powerful wind shot that apparently took up all of Arya's powers, all of them. She did one big wind blast. None of the freaking three special moves that Cicely did when she was fighting the three girls took up all her power, but that one huge wind blast took everything she had. Didn't even make it to
Yeah,
the fight later on. Broke her promise.
yeah,
Oh my god, this show had like potential and just soiled it. But Lisa and Cicely make it to Luke, and they see Luke's final clash, and like he's on the floor bleeding because the rock broke his quote unquote sacred sword. Um, and then Cicely stands in front of Luke as if she was gonna do anything about it. Siegfried lets Luke make a whole nother katana. Like they keep stressing how this man needs time to make a katana. No one is stopping him from making a katana.
that's what I was like, bro. He man could have just killed all three of them and just called it a day.
One
But he's like,
horizontal slash and it would have been done.
yeah, could have killed all three of them, and he was like, oh nope, we're just not gonna attack. I'm like, man, okay.
Bro, but like you would think it doesn't get worse. But Sicily and Siegfried's fight was horrible.
Yeah.
It was just two main
Anticlimactic.
interactions.
Yeah.
It was just two main interactions. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, slight decay in my sword. Let me slide the sword up, cut through your sword, and then stab you in the heart with a broken piece. And he didn't even die. He disappeared into like a fog.
Yeah.
And that was the end. She was like, I'm gonna keep fighting. I was like, I'm not even sure you just fought. I don't know what just happened. Why is this so like why does this have so much wasted potential?
Yeah. And then it just was like, oh well, let's go save the rest of the city.
That city is burning as we speak, and the season's over.
Yeah.
And Arya is still sitting somewhere unconscious.
Yes.
Now, there is one silver lining to the show.
That is over.
There's two silver linings to the show.
Ah,
I thought we were getting a really, really unnecessary tit scene towards the end. I was like, it's been a
mm,
while. It's gonna come. I don't know when it's gonna come, but it's gonna happen. No, no etchy scenes.
yeah. Ain't too bad. I ain't mad at it.
But
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We went through this journey, Irby.
It was great at points, but
It had potential.
did it? Did it have
Yes.
potential?
Yeah, it had potential.
Mm.
Um, you wanna bang out some mangas?
Yeah, we ain't got but two.
Yeah, you can do jujutsu.
So, Jujutsu Kaisen, chapter 216, episode title Bath. So, we found out that Geto can't merge Tegan with humanity until the Culling game ends. And this is because he took a bonding vow to end what was permanent. And apparently, there's a bath ritual for turning a vessel. Uh, Essentially, you turn a vessel that is cherished, and as a family treasure into a cursed tool, and to protect it from threats. It takes 10 days and 10 months. Uh, 10 months and 10 days, and the solution uh, for curse for it to be applicable, I guess. So I'm like, huh. So that's what he's trying to do for Megami, which I did have a thought later on, but apparently, cursed spirits that turn to dust when they're done, and the solution you soak it in evil, and Sukuna is submerging Megami's soul. And I was thinking maybe like part of Megami's power, the black space is like it's like a soaking of something I guess. So it's like, huh, maybe he was made for this.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, oh, that's interesting because he just pulls stuff out of black space. So and then Sukuna wants to fight Sukumi and Sendai because he wants her vessel destroyed. He and his power kind of stems from the bath, and he thinks if he kills her vessel, that it will bury Fushiguro, so he'll like submit to him. And so some random man tries to fight him for a little while. Then Sumaki uh, uh, shows up to fight him. I'm like, oh, okay, it's about to get real, baby.
Yeah.
And then on to the Chojin,
All right, quick rundown of
Chojin
Chojin.
horse. Ha,
Chapter
get it, Chojin
35.
horse.
Chojin. Yes, I get it, Irby.
Do you? I don't know.
I do. All right, this chapter is actually. I know we usually run through Chojin quick, but this is a quick 57 chapters. This was 57 panels.
Pages.
Yes, panels. Pages. Yes, slides, stuff. But it's mostly pictures and very little words.
Aggression. Yeah.
Um, this entire chapter was about Tokyo's battle within himself on like, is quitting school the right thing to do? Um, because like it seems like he wants to just train, but like he's lacking the push.
The fortitude to do what is right and necessary.
Yeah, so like you see a couple moments like he's talking to his sister about quitting school and she's against it. Like she's kind of like his mom figure. But the dad was totally cool with it. Even gave him a cigarette and was like, "Yo, follow your heart." I was like, "All right, maybe you're a little too cool, Dad. Maybe ease up on the." He said he wanted to quit school. He didn't say he wanted to become a degenerate. Why'd you give him a cigarette?
Well, I think the fact that he gave him the wildest money he was holding on to was because he did the same thing, and that's how he met his mother. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was relating. He was like, "If I didn't quit school, I wouldn't have met your mom. So like, by all means, do what you want to do."
yeah,
So like, I understand that, but he didn't have to give him a cigarette.
why not? It's a rite of
Bad habits.
passage.
Bad
Yeah,
habits. Anyways,
you can do one cigarette.
uh,
You just ain't gotta make it a habit.
so Tokyo was playing with baseball dude and telling baseball dude like, "Hey, it might be the end of the world," and dude was like, I think you're just being dramatic. Go to school. You're almost done anyway."
Yeah.
I was like, all right, drop out, talking some sense.
No, he didn't drop out. He's still in school.
He's still in school.
Yep.
And
He listened to the podcast, so he went back to school.
Tokyo, his ultimate decision was to drop out of school, and he wanted to go to the most dangerous district there was. And he didn't say goodbye
Wow.
to Ellie and Ellie and
Azuma.
Azuma. Thank you. So then you get a few panels of Ellie and Azuma progressing in life, and you see Azuma grieving a little because that was his best friend. They've been together since high school, since childhood. So I can't tell from the close-ups, but it looks like we have a time skip coming along.
Probably. You know, I did a little training montage.
Yeah, yeah, and like at the end, Tokyo kind of looked more in tone with his body. He had hella scars, and he had the wings and like an eagle on his arm. So like,
Started flying.
mm-hmm. So I'm actually curious to see what the next chapter. Chojin has regained my interest, as well as Boruto. Boruto kind of regained my interest.
Yeah. I did think about how it was funny how Ellie got a job. She traveled at home, got a job, and she looks like she's working at McDonald's.
I know.
And then both of them just hop out and start training again.
And they're probably doing it just to spite him. He said he couldn't do this. We're training just fine.
Yeah.
But
Or they could just be training to be on the same level when he comes back.
nah, Tokyo about to be OP.
I don't know, dog. If anything, Azuma be OP because he got the
Azuma has the most
Luffy like ability in the series. Yes.
I was gonna say Luffy, like I was gonna say adaptable, but sure.
Well, is not the tiki fruit? Does that not allow Luffy to do anything?
The Nika fruit.
Yeah, you know what it was. You knew what I meant.
I don't really know the specifics of the fruit. It was a lot to take in.
Yeah,
Because the god
pretty,
Nika like had properties of rubber, had properties of fire, and was able to put like a smile on everyone's face and like bend reality to his will or something like that.
exactly. And Azuma's adaptable. He can do anything with his body, so it's similar to the same thing.
Hmm.
He just don't know how to harness it yet.
Yeah. In any case, we need a quick 2 year time skip so Luffy can get rid of the after effects of Gear 5.
I don't know about that.
Hey man.
They're gonna come out with Gear 6, and he's gonna turn into a Lambo.
I don't think there's a higher tier of I mean maybe there'll be a Gear 6. I doubt it
Um,
though.
I mean, there's like 12 gears in some cars, so
I think um I think we spend the next two arcs just perfecting Gear 5.
she might.
But You want to talk about high card or that magical?
Dealer's choice.
Well, I can keep talking if you don't mind me talking some more.
If you would like to, it don't make no difference to me, baby.
Okay, so high card, guys. I'm not hopeless. I actually picked a good anime this time. I feel like I had a
Good.
couple iffy ones, but this one, me personally, I was really into it. So, high card, episode one, one shot. We appear to be in the middle of a search and retrieve mission, and the girl who I assumed is Iris is just out here making explosives out of thin air. She was running with a suitcase, and when it looked like she got cornered, she put her hands up and boom, C4, 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 covered the whole wall, right? Boom, blew up the entire wall. Helicopter comes, starts shooting everybody. She's in the helicopter. Um, Sniper comes out, it's about to shoot her, and what was it called? What was it called?
The
The
briefcase.
Lala. No, Lala.
Yeah.
Lala is the person who was a statue that kind of looked like a saint. Activated some wind stuff and blew the suitcase everywhere, and cards came pouring everywhere. All right. So then we don't get introduced to this young man at first, but Finn is the next person we see, and in a short amount of time, he observed this scenario where this dog got loose, and he used the dog to pickpocket the dude at the hot dog stand to watch by getting the dog to bite his leg, and then swiping the watch in the process of apologizing. And then he made the dog run away from him and running in a circle around the two would seem to be like either young adults or teenagers smoking, swiped their phones, and returned the dog to the black kid. Which, by the way, props to animes putting more brothers in shows that don't look
Mm.
horrible.
No Mr. Popo lookings.
No, yeah, no Mr. Popos. So that's our introduction to Finn, and he goes to what ends up being an orphanage and overhearing this man saying, "We're gonna have to kick you out if you can't come up with money." So instead of playing with the kids, he goes and sets off to make some money. He tries to trade in the stuff he stole, which the guy says, "I don't buy stolen things," and he looks sketch. And
Yeah.
it's like, so what about the gold watch? Like this counterfeit, and then it zooms in instead of a Rolex, I think it was a King Flex or King Lex.
I thought it was funny how he was like, "Yeah, this is all worth this much," and he had a calculator with zero.
Zero. Is that a zero? Why are you playing with me?
Yeah.
So in the middle of Finn actually tried to sell his he said rare shirt that he was a fan of the band or whatever, but Homeboy wasn't buying. Then Homeboy noticed the two of spades in his pocket. It's like if this was real, it'd be worth some money. It's like that's not for sale, which implies it's real. But dude in the shop, I think that was another decent black character if I recall. Decent looking black character. I think he was bald, had a
Uh,
beard.
he
Um,
might have been black, or, but I'm not sure.
it was a dark place. I don't recall. But told Finn to go play cards. So he was like, yes, gambling. So he went into what this anime's version of Vegas would be, and he ran in. He was actually playing really good at the poker table, but
Beltland.
but guess who showed up? Lucky Lunch Man. Weird name,
Well,
but
it makes sense if you think about it, because people say, "Oh, give me your lunch" or whatever. They take your lunch. It's a euphemism for taking your money. Give me your lunch money.
gotcha. Okay, all right,
So,
Irby with the deep thoughts.
because he always cleans up. So, like, give me your lunch. Yeah. So
But
that's what.
it was pretty obvious that Lucky Lunch Man had a card, or right?
I mean, I knew he was doing something with his gloves, but I'm
I
like,
didn't. I thought he. Okay, so here's what I thought. I thought the card was in the glove,
yeah.
like inside it, and you just couldn't see the creases. But
I was like, his gloves are glowing. I was like, yeah, he's changing cards, but like, I was like, I don't know how he's doing that.
so, um, luckily, Lucky Lunchman wiped Finn out of all his money, and Finn went to Plan B immediately. Decided he was gonna steal the man's card with all the money on it, but instead he just kept
Getting thwarted,
yeah, he kept getting thwarted by outside environment.
forces. Yeah, which I don't understand how you let that man take all his money anyway. Because as soon as I would have started losing, all right, I'm out.
Pride, man. Pride's a stubborn, a fickle thing.
I guess I got zero pride there because I ain't losing all my money.
Nah,
Especially
man.
if I'm up 100,000 grand and I lose like 10,000, I'm like, all right, yo, you got it, King. I'm out because I'm coming out ahead still, baby. I can't be no sucker.
So, the staff comes over to Lucky Lunchman and says, "Oh man, you're really on a roll. Would you care to have some champagne in our VIP room?" So they bring him over, and Lucky Lunchman says, "Ah, why don't you come, kid?" Finn. So brings Finn along, and they're like, "All right, how are you two cheating?" So, well, I'm not actually his friend, and they're just like, "No, sit down." And that's when dude reveals like, you're not gonna hurt me. I bet 1,000,000 that you won't even touch me. And dude, what did he trip on his shoelace, right?
Yeah, his shoelace became undone, and both the dudes, he fell on dude, and the other dude fell out the window. I think
Oh yeah, that was
all of them fell out. It was crazy.
interesting set of moments. And then the other guy was like, "Get him!" He's like, "Oh, so
You
Marvel's
also have
guy."
a card.
Yeah, he was like, Marvel's did something, and he was like,
It's a
turned
weird
that.
pain.
Yeah, he turned the dude that was actually working there into marbles or candy, whatever he is, because he keeps putting it in his mouth.
Which I thought was weird because when he was initially in like the security guard room, I was like, "Is he eating candy?" I was like, "What is it with all this marbles and blood on the floor?"
I thought I could have sworn I saw a fucking rapper.
Yeah, I thought it was candy. I was like, "What's up with this blood on the floor?"
I
So
don't know, but it turns out homie's got a card too. At this point, neither of them know about Finn's card, but Marble Guy, who I don't even think introduced himself.
we don't know a name for him.
Okay, yeah. So Marble Guy goes, "You got the 10 of diamonds, right? That seems to be the fortune card that it like doesn't let whoever owns it get hurt. But what about your family? I'll chase you to the ends of hell and hurt everyone you care about to get that card." So Lucky Lunchman posted out and gave him the 10 of diamonds. And then the other dude who was in the casino popped up and was like, "Sorry, my boss wants that too." And it becomes like a fight between Diamond Dude and this guy who has the 5 of hearts. So as of right now, we know 3 cards: the 2 of spades, the 10 of diamonds, and the 5 of hearts. I don't know what Marvel's guy what card he has or had because I think he died.
Mm,
But
I'm not sure.
yeah, I'm not
I
sure
don't
either
know.
because 5 of hearts guy didn't die later on. But 5 of hearts, his card does something called calories high. Maybe it's has something to do with using calories to heal or prof- physical boost or something like that. I don't know. But in the midst of the chaos, not so lucky lunchman fell onto a gun and got himself shot, in which Marbles dude ran out of marbles, but the lucky lunchman just casually walked up to Marbles dude and was like, "I want the card back 'cause I'm about to die." So he quickly got turned into more ammo. Uh,
Yeah.
5 of hearts guy told Finn, "Yo, get out of here." And where Finn, even though kind of, it seemed like he was a little nervous about the situation, but he still had the wherewithal in his head to pickpocket the 10 of diamonds real quick.
Yeah.
And I guess once he decided to dip with the card, Marbles and Five of Hearts didn't really have a reason to fight each other at the moment, so it became a card chase, which I don't see too many animes with a decent card chase. That was actually a decent card chase.
Yeah.
Marbles dude is really relentless, and somehow all three of them end up crashing into each other with a big explosion. Finn kind of walks out of it more unscathed than the other two. Five of the Hearts shows up first, limping. It's like, dude, you need a hospital. Like, nah, it's just a scratch. Gets shot in the head with a marble. I thought he was dead, and
Yeah, I didn't see the marble go through him though, so I was like,
maybe he has
it's
a
like,
hard
ooh,
head.
yeah, I was like, he got hit because I think he did the other marbles went through people, right?
Um, yes,
That's why
he
I
was
was
throwing it
like,
really hard. Yeah, it was going through things.
yeah, people. So I was like, it didn't go through him or
Yeah,
even like make an indentation. So I was like, ooh, he might be knocked out.
I think it's just
And
hard candy. I keep calling it marbles. I think it's just hard candy.
I have no idea, but yeah,
Maybe he has a Joker card. I don't know. Maybe there's 52. Maybe there's 54 cards.
yeah, I was gonna say it had to be 54.
Yeah, they definitely said 52, didn't it?
Might be 56, but I
56.
think
There's two
yeah,
cards with rules and one with games.
yeah. I think well, some decks have like four jokers.
Jeez.
Yeah,
But
so it all depends.
so Marvel Dude was like, "Yeah, I'm really tenacious." Remember when I told Lucky Dipshit that I'd follow him to the ends of hell? Well, time's up, kid. Either give up the card and I'll kill you quick, or be stubborn and I'll let you rot. So dude pulls out the card and it's like, "Have it your way." Turns it two of spades, and the two of spades turns out to be a gun, a revolver. I was like, "What?" So dude shoots a marble and Finn aims and shoots through the marble, and bullet pretty much goes through Marble's guy's entire right arm. And
Yeah,
then we turn around and Five of Hearts didn't actually die, so now it's a standoff between the two, and that's where we ended. I was like, oh, I kind of want to watch the next episode, but I gotta record this podcast. I watched it today, by the way.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, but I enjoyed the
Very
episode. I
interesting.
enjoyed it.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it didn't have any like, oh crap, that's my flavor moments, but all the moments were like kept me invested.
Picked a good anime for a change.
I know, right? I'm gonna do my best to pick another one for next
I've
week.
been I've been carrying the good animes, I guess.
Nah, I don't know, man. You had to run a slice of lives that
They was funny and entertaining.
they were running their course.
Nah, they were great. I enjoyed them. People enjoyed them. The viewers enjoyed them.
I don't know. I can confirm one viewer who doesn't really go out of his way to watch slices of life. Or Michi Onisan was good.
That's just his preference, though.
Or
So
Michi was good.
yeah, I need more of that in my life.
I could have done without my senpai is annoying.
That one was a good one. I give that like a solid 7.
Solid 7, nice.
Yeah, solid 7.
All right,
But
shall
anyhow, uh, magical revolution of the reincarnated princess and genius young lady. Magic lecture of the founder and the assistant. So this one starts off with an awkward moment between everyone and Lonnie. And then Ilya, she's like, "Oh, time for me to go get some tea," which I almost made that my flavor just because she was going to go get some tea because she didn't want to be up in the business.
She's like,
So
I'm gonna go get some tea. You guys can spill the tea.
yeah. So then Yuffie, they get to talking with Lonnie. Yuffie doesn't know whether she wants to condemn her or forgive her. She asked her, "Did you do this with malice? Did you do what you did with malice?" And she was like, "No, I didn't. Like, I had no idea." And so she essentially kind of forgives her and is like, "Oh, I'll help you in your endeavors because She's like, I can't turn away your hands like this or whatever because you look like you need some help. So then they end up going to see Tilty, and she has an idea of what causes like the fascination. And this was the moment where she was like, "Oh, if I didn't know about her powers, I was almost in trouble because I felt sorry for her for a moment." I was like, "Oh, yeah, it's working."
Mm-hmm.
So I have an idea what causes it, but they haven't told us yet in this show. So then Toti goes and grabs her forbidden text that Honest had pilfered for her to review.
Were you right in your theory?
Um, I don't know. Was I? I can't think. But no, it's I thought it would. I thought it would be a curse for her. Like she's cursed somehow.
Oh.
Like, because if you think about it, two people that we know of right now, like Honest was cursed by the dragon, and she has magicite in her now.
Mm-hmm.
And what's her name? I think she might have been cursed, but she also has magicite in her. Like her, like
Does
Lonnie's.
does
Yeah,
Gloom Princess
Lonnie's.
have magicite?
I have no idea if she does.
Huh.
We know Lonnie has magicite in her heart, which is
Yes.
passed down. Yeah. So I was thinking that. I mean, she might have magicite because her eyes are red too.
But wasn't but Honest was cursed before she put the magicite inside her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still a curse. But like maybe only cursed beings can have the magicite in them is what I'm saying.
Oh, possibly. It would be a common trait.
Because I think Honest is like she started to curse out, whereas Lonnie was a product of curses. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they go through the forbidden text, and the text was notes left by a magician in the pursuit of the truth of magic. And he had spent his whole life researching, and then it wasn't enough to find the answers. So he came up with a way to extend his life by implanting magicite into his body to prolong his life, and he stole life from others. And this is essentially how you get the vampire story. So they talk about how this was a story they told him when they were younger, and he wanted to create others like him. So he ended up making descendants, and I guess in the story they're talking about how like people would like bend to his will, and they called it like brainwashing, but it's like strongly influenced. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and it's hereditary. So she inherited the magicite because like the research said like it's passed down. So Honest might not be able to pass it on down because it doesn't look like she's leaning towards having no kids. Well, biological kids, I put it that way.
True.
But yeah, so then they started experimenting, and they released some of the magicite in Lonnie's body, and she gets red eyes and fangs. And we find out the reason why, like, the fascination was coming out was because her powers wasn't being used. So, I'm like, huh, interesting. And so then Tilty's like, oh, I got to return the book, and she's like, oh, let me holler at you for a minute, Yuffie. And she's like, oh, what's with that jealous look? And she's like, oh, I didn't know I was looking jealous. Tilty uh, asked her, and then she was like, oh, what's you to honest? Like, you did everything you did with your honest restored, this and the other. They found out what was going on, and she's like, oh, I don't know. And she she basically was like, well, you gotta be all in on honest, or else you're gonna be in trouble. You can't go around here being half-hearted and whatnot. So I was like, huh,
Which she agreed with.
she did. So then later on, Honest visits Yuffie later because she was looking down. She's like, oh, you were down. Let me check in on you, baby. And so we found out Yuffie's wondering what she was going to do in the future, this and the other, typical stuff. And then,
I'm just hoping this isn't gonna be a constant theme with Yuffie. Like all season long she's trying to find her place.
I think she ended up finding her place to what to do.
I thought so already, and then we like cycled back.
I think her conviction became stronger now, but like I think she always wanted to support Honest, but she just never knew how to go about that
I
until
hope
the
so.
opportunity presented itself. Yeah. So, so then, um, let's see. Yeah, Lonnie, we found out that she needs to drink blood because her body gives her the feeling that she needs to drink blood when it's running low on mana. So she goes and drinks Ilia's blood. And then Honest gets a letter from Ministry of Arcane where she has to explain what she's going to do with the materials from the dragon. And Yuffie volunteers to handle the matter for her when they go up there speaking. So they get to the lecture. Honest is speaking about brooms and this, that, and the other. And then Yuffie's like, oh, let me take this from here. And so she proceeds to explain how how the broom isn't like a good design, but like, oh, we're going to improve it and this and the other. And she gives it from like the position of like a magician, but also they were kind of like really ragging on Honest when she was talking, and they were dissing her, and they was like, oh, it's sacrilege to the spirits. And I was thinking that throughout history, like if you think about how it used to be like heliocentric and geocentric, and the thoughts of how the world rotates, it's just questioning of that the stuff that's going against the status quo is what makes progress. So I was like, huh, this is that moment right here in that
Mm-hmm.
time. So yeah, Yuffie took over. She says the spirits are like the spirits kind of chose Honest to do this because it's like they kind of gave her like wisdom and stuff, and it's like a great homage to the spirits for like what she's doing with her magicology. So people are come around to see it. She also gets the merits of the new technology, and they're gonna get better with stuff and all the economic growth. And the redhead Baron isn't too happy, but yeah, she really sold them on the fact that there's benefits to be had from this. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of people just were skeptical and they're like, "Oh, it's sacrilege to the spirits and this that." But like, it's a great tribute to them because you want to be like the spirits. And if the spirits didn't want it to happen, they would have struck Honest down already.
Yeah, I mean, there are multiple arguments you can make for that. It's like you don't stop using light when the sun goes down because it's disrespectful to the sun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
hate. Oh,
solid episode. The magical heretic princess has not had any bad episodes.
yeah, just slow ones that then you're like, "Oh man, what's going on?"
Yeah.
You're like, "I need to know what happens next, but I can't."
Oh man. So any news, Irby?
No, got no news. Uh, yeah, got none. Haven't been doing too much of anything.
I see. I see.
What about you, dog?
Not nothing. Just patiently waiting for Solo to come out.
Patiently waiting for a track to explode on.
Yeah. Sure.
Another reference you didn't get.
Oh man. Can't wait. But
Can you wait?
yeah, if I don't got nothing, you don't got nothing. Guys, that was it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Peace.